Hi lads, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's ThatGirlRuvie. If you're new, my name is Ree. Please go ahead and subscribe if you're into making DIY fashion, recreating vlogs from scratch. Go ahead and join our little fashion show. My returning subscribers, welcome back. Thank you for tuning back in. So in today's video, we're going to be making a bodysuit pattern. So let's get into the video. To make our pattern, we're going to need a square ruler or any ruler with an angle, French curve. The long one is what I ended up using, and any two colored pencils or markers, and our pattern paper. So we're going to take a piece of our pattern paper and fold it in half for the front and for the back. That's why we're folding it in half, and then we're going to cut the excess off because we don't need it. We are going to draw about 1 inch from the edge of the pattern paper and draw a line on the paper. My ruler had a glue bump, that's why I was like, why is my line not so straight? And for your lines to be very accurate, you're going to need to tape down your paper if you're not comfortable using the square ruler to make your lines straight. And for the side of the pattern paper, we're going to draw another long line as well to create our border. I'm going to be using this tape measure which has centimeters and inches on both sides because I prefer using the inches for those who always ask that they use centimeters. So we're going to take about 3 inches at the top of our paper in and to the bottom of the paper. Now, using the French curve, I like using this bigger one. We're going to connect those two markings that we made on the corner of our pattern paper, and this is going to be the neckline of the bodysuit. We're going to measure from your shoulder line to your bust and then put a mark down on the horizontal line of the pattern, as you can see in the video, and then we're going to measure from the bust to the waist and then mark that down, and then mark from the waist to the hip and mark that down as well. I also ended up marking down the crotch from the waist to the crotch area, and I marked that part down. I don't know where that footage went to, but that's the last point you see on the pattern paper. We're going to add 1 inch after our crotch point. This is going to be seam allowance for the crotch area, and then we're going to label our lines so that we don't get confused. Now we're going to be drawing a line at each of the points that we made for the bust, the waist, the hip, and the crotch area. Now we are going to be inputting our measurements. You're going to measure your bust and then divide it by 4 because this is going to be on stretchy fabric and this is also going to be cut on fold. For the crotch area, we're going to measure 1.5 inches, which is the standard measurement for the crotch. We're going to bring down the crotch point and connect it to the seam allowance that we had pointed out earlier. Onto our shoulder line, we are going to take our shoulder measurement and divide it by 2 and then mark it down, and then we're going to bring that point down by 1.5 inches. I like to use 1.5, others prefer 1 inch because our shoulders are slanted and they are not straight. Now we're taking our armhole measurement and we're going to divide that by 2 and then mark it down from our new shoulder line. And we're going to draw a line connecting our shoulder line and that point. We're also going to connect that point to our main borderline at the side, and this is going to be our upper bust. On our armhole line, we're going to mark the midpoint of that line and then take it inwards into our pattern by 1 inch if you're a smaller chested girl, and if you're a bigger chested girl, take it in by 0.5 inches. And then we're going to connect our shoulder line to that midpoint. We're going to use our French curve to connect the midpoint to the underbust line. Now we're going to connect all the points using the French curve ruler as well. Make sure the French curve touches both of the points that you want to connect. Now when you reach by the crotch area, it depends on how you want your coverage. If you want full coverage or you want a bit of a thong, you connect the line however you wish to have your coverage. At the neckline, we are going to take down about 1 inch because the back of the neckline is higher than the front neckline, and then we're going to connect that dot to the shoulder part of the neckline. At the crotch area, you must remember to add 4 inches at the back of the pattern. I was being stingy with my paper, so I didn't have enough space, but you can just elongate those 2 lines and then add 4 more inches. For the back coverage, again, depends on how you want it. If you want a thong or you want full coverage, you draw your line according to how you want it. I want something a bit covered, not fully covered. That's why I just draw a straight line. Now back to the armhole. For the back piece of the pattern, the armhole is not as deep as the front. So for my big chested girls, you're going to take your bust measurement with a curve ruler, connect it to the upper bust, and then connect it to the midpoint of your original midpoint. For my small chested girls, you're just going to draw a straight line, and then we're going to start cutting. After cutting out our pattern, the clean slate is going to be the back piece of the pattern, and on that I'm going to note that I must add 4 centimeters to my crotch area, is my pattern is not long enough at that point. And I'm also going to note that it must be cut on fold, the straight line is going to be on fold, and then label your pattern so that you don't forget which part of the pattern it is. Now to finish off our front pattern, we're going to cut off all the other parts that we had accommodated for the back part of the pattern and then label it as well. This is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share to your friends. Yes, thank you so much for being on my channel. Thank you guys. Every time I get a comment from y'all loving my stuff, I get so motivated to do more. So thank you, and see you in my next video.